With the enemy only 20 miles away, the refugee children are fed with their one meal a day, a high-protein meal of fish stock or cornmeal or soya bean and milk formulas. The terrible starvation of last autumn is now almost over, although the military situation has deteriorated. The aid came just in time, but even so, too late to save thousands of deaths from starvation. Here the aid is distributed by a Catholic priest, elsewhere by Protestants.
I'm coming. I can be Ayaba.
While the priests distributed food, nearby the English students found Biafran officials telling the children about the evils of Nigeria.
They are pursuing us, killing us. They are killing our parents, our brothers, our fathers, and even ourselves. Most of our parents are shot in the farm. Our homes are destroyed. Houses are burnt. Parents, women are also murdered.
In the human race, segregation, discrimination, that's a practice of a common people. So let's get together, blood brothers.
The British are very, very wicked people. They hate the Igbo man. They are the problem that Biafra has today in Africa. They have started again instigating, calling IPOB bad names, terrorist organizations, so that international community will turn their back against Biafra. The IPOB meaning indigenous people of southeastern Nigeria, and they are all Christians. Look at how the Fulani'S have subjected this region to incessant attack, bloody one. Enweghị ike ichegide n'ụwa chefuo ihe ndị Britain mere the Igbos in 1967, 68, 69, 70. Britain was the one that fought the war for Nigeria. Though Nigerian military clique was led by Colonel Gowon, but the people that supply Nigerian military clique with arms, which made it a genocidal war, was the British. Then how did the war start? Listen and listen, my good Igbo brothers, sisters, aunties, fathers, listen. The war started because there was a coup in 1966. A coup against Sadwanas. The coup was against Akintola, against Nnamdi Azikiwe, Bakatafara Bolawa. The coup was all Nigerian ethnicity coup. Listen and listen good. But Britain, instead of seeing the coup as a general national coup, because the Igbos are too good, because the Igbos are too learned, because the Igbos are too educated, and they have filled the whole federal agencies, all facets of lives, Igbo man was there in 1960s coup. The British people, instead of announcing the coup, telling the whole world it is a national coup, of which the whole tribes in Nigeria were involved. Britain said, BBC announced it and said it was the Igbos. It was a coup from only Igbo extraction. That is why the Fulani-Janjaweeds, the Hausa, the Yorubas, and other ethnicities, Nupe, Kanuris, Baris, even our brother Idoma, they gang up against us. All the ethnicities, ethnic group in the mid-belt then, gang up against Igbos with such grievous, bloody animosities, killing Igbos in their large number from 1966, 1967, 68, 69, until 1970, when the war abruptly stopped. Who sponsored the war? Who orchestrated the war? Who instigated the war? It was the same Britain. Britain is always obsessed by, causing Igbo man heinous pain, hideous pain. Britain is busy bringing Igbo man down for over 60 years now, for nothing's sake. And as if they are not tired or done, they have begun to use telegraph, a newspaper. One of the media house platform in Nigeria, announcing and writing, publicizing all manners of criminal stories, bloody stories about IPOB. That IPOB is behind kidnapping, IPOB is behind ritual killing, IPOB is behind killing the military, the soldiers, and orchestrating terrorist acts in Nigeria. To fear. Do you know why I spit for Britain? Because we know who are orchestrating terrorism, act of terror across Nigerian nation. They are the people from Sahel. The act of terror across Nigeria is caused by the Fulani-Janjaweeds. In the northern region there, you see various terrorist platforms. You have Lakaruwa, you have Mahamuda, you have Boko Haram, you have ISWAP. All in the northeastern Nigeria, core north, northwest, not in the southeastern Nigeria. Tell me how IPOB has been constituting terrorism in Nigeria. IPOB is indigenous people of southeastern Nigeria. They are not terrorist group. We are talking and discussing and trying to come together to know how we will challenge British reparation over what they have committed against Igbo man. There must be reparation. Reparation meaning payment, compensation of bloody acts, of slavery, of unnecessary genocide against a particular people, of unnecessary subjection into slavery or servitude of a particular people. The black man, this time around, is not the black man in general. We are talking about the Igbo people. British was the one that instigated the war of 1967 to 1970, and Igbos were killed in their large number. The black Jews. Britain, the British are very, very shameless, wicked people. I'm sorry that YouTube understand what I'm saying. YouTube is a social media giant based in America, and I know that they know history. If they want to know how Britain instigated the war of 1967, 68, 69, and 70, I don't think YouTube has any time to make case with me. The British are very, very wicked people. They hate the Igbo man. They are the problem that Biafra has today in Africa. They have started again instigating, calling IPOB bad names, terrorist organizations, so that international community will turn their back against Biafra. The IPOB meaning indigenous people of southeastern Nigeria, and they are all Christians. Look at how the Fulani-Janjaweeds have subjected this region to incessant attack, bloody one, attacking churches, attacking villages, attacking communities, and Igbos, Christian Igbos are dying in their large number, which is why the current Pope Leo, an American Pope Leo, is questioning this administration, the man in charge of this present administration, why the Christians are dying in their large number on daily basis. This connotes one of the major reasons. Killings by Fulani-Janjaweeds connotes one of the major reasons. Pope Leo, is sending across his question to Asurok, the presidential villa, the presidential office of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Are you listening to me? Britain is the one that instigated the war that Pitt sent over 4 million Igbos to their early graves. Children were kwachokored in large numbers. Malnutrition, which of course we've seen how Finland played important role during the war by sending materials, food materials, relief to the Igbo man, to the children of Biafra, of Biafran land. They contributed money in Finland, denying their children school fees, at least to make sure that most of the kwachokored Igbo children were taken to hospital, for medication. Finnish as a country tried. The Finnish country that I'm seeing today, I don't know whether something has gone wrong because they are still holding Simon Epa incommunicado in prison in Finland. So what went wrong, I don't know. Britain is a devilish satanic country, a country that doesn't know God, a country that, if not because of America, they will never finish paying United States of America. For what America has done for Britain during the Second World War, Britain will never finish the payment. They are very shameless. They are not ashamed of themselves. They are still surviving today because of United States of America. And they want to bring Igbo man down because they know that we've gone a very, very long way in Africa. Igbo man is too further than the Fulani man. And the Fulani man with Islamic ideology and low mentality are the people Britain keeps on favoring till today because they think low. They turn their back on what? Western civilization. But the Igbo man that embraced Christianity and Western civilization are the worst enemy. The people that British people are oppressing, persecuting, and suppressing down till today. I'm telling you that enough of all this, let me say, obsession by the British over the Igbo man, against Igbo man. I don't know what they have seen against the Igbos. I mean the Britain. Britain has never finished paying the Igbos the destruction of 1967 caused by Nigerian Biafran Civil War 67, 68, 69, 70. Britain has never paid anything. Rather, they are instigating more war.
Why do you not think they want the
What?
Igbos to
I don't
leave?
know what they want. This kind of international antagonism, I don't know why it is coming, piling up against the Igbo man from the British axis. If you ask me, Iran, Yemen, they are not axis of evil. The true axis of evil is the United Kingdom and all its components. I'm seeing it that England is bent on bringing down the Igbo man. I am seeing the people of Ireland, the Scotland, as good people. But you see England, where Queen Elizabeth ruled until her death, they are evil. Englishman is evil. Yes, English is evil. Scotland and Ireland are fair. Very, very fair with the Welsh. The Welsh are the Wales. The Wale I know, the Wale is they are very good people. You see British man, especially the English, they are the problem that Igbo man has today. The one they perpetrated in the past, let's say 60, 58, 57, 57, 55 years ago, they are not done with it. They are still piling up more oppression. I'm telling you, the worst enemy you can have in life is an instigator. An instigator will go to Mr. Paul and tell him, look at what Peter is doing. And go to Peter and say, Peter, look at what Paul is doing. He's just putting fire to make sure that Biafra emergence is nullified. But I thank God the kind of person we have in Trump. Trump is a Jew. He understands. He's a real American. He's not looking the other side, British angle. He's reasoning it from the angle of humanity. I mean Donald Trump. So all that Britain has been planning, you know, to make sure that they bring Biafra down, they have failed. They are not going to survive. They can't succeed, I know.
They can't succeed.
At all. Britain can never succeed. They must go to court. IPOB, the legal team, they must take Britain to court because they have been instigating and instigating, you know, defamation of character, writing bad narratives about indigenous people of Biafra. Look at what is happening in the north. They are the one creating Boko Haram so that they will be stealing the natural resources over there at Sambisa Forest. There is gold in Zamfara. There is gold everywhere in the north. And Britain is coming up with Lakarua, Mahamuda, Boko Haram, and other terrorist platforms. Israel should be informed about what Britain is doing against Igbo man. British adventurism in Nigeria is to cause problem and steal our oil, other vital, you know, precious stones into the UK. That is their business. That's why they are busy telling all manners of ugly stories about IPOB. IPOB are agitation group. They are agitating for their right and they must separate from Nigeria. Nigeria belongs to Britain. Britain is evil. When Nigeria was created in 1914, my father was not there. Nnamdi Azikiwe wasn't there. Awolowo wasn't there. None of the pure Igbos, Negro, black Nigerians were there. Even the Hausas and the Fulani'S, they were not there. It was only the handwork of Freddie Lugard and his wife at Lokoja Conference Town there. We were not there. Nigeria is their Nigeria. Nigeria is British Nigeria. It is a contraption structured under the powers of darkness, under lies and the slavery. It's a fake country. And Britain is benefiting from the current situation Nigerians are going through, where Nigerians are passing through hell currently, and British man is the only person benefiting from it. That's why they are busy attacking the real people. The real people are the Igbo people, the people that will bring this kind of excruciating economic condition of the country to a full stop. That's why they keep on telling the whole world all manners of ugly story about Igbo man. Britain must surely pay. Reparation is it. I believe Britain must pay reparation.
Okay, but we've seen Burna Boy come out in time past. You know, I think 2 years ago he came and said Nigeria is just like a company to this Britain. that enough is enough. And we see what Traore is doing in Burkina Faso, wanting to break away from this colonialism. Yes, in Africa.
Neo-colonialism.
Yes. Do you not think that the Britain, they know that if the Igbos were to be let alone, that if the Igbo leaves Nigeria, that that will be the end of them reaping from now, because a lot of people have said what Nigeria is making, Britain are collecting about like 80% of what Nigeria is getting from our natural resources. Is it not? Why is it difficult for Nigeria to really break away from this Britain?
Low mentality. That's what is making it difficult for Nigeria. Religious bigotry. That is what is making it difficult for Nigeria to break away from the hand grip of neo-colonialist British neo-colonialist policy and agenda is succeeding right now because Nigerian people hate themselves. The Fulani Janjaweed are religious bigots. I don't know what to understand. Another part of the region in Nigeria here, due to tribal bigotry, they are still falling victim to Britain, to neo-colonialist Britain. Are you listening to me?
Yeah.
We are not succeeding because Hausa man has low mentality. Fulani man is a religious pig. They don't want any other thing except Islam, Quran and mosque. They don't know that somebody is somewhere remote in Nigeria trying to pull this country down because of selfish interest. Neo-colonialism is another issue that the whole African continent is facing. British, the France, the Spanish, the Portuguese, the Belgian, they are working hard to bring this slavery back to African continent again, this slavery method. They are trying to enslave the entire continent to continue looting away our precious stone, our oil, and so on and so forth. That is why Britain is bent on bringing Igbo man down. But I'm telling you that time is coming. The court is what is going to decide. I don't think they have much British, let me say, supremacists, racist at the ICC level. No. The racist Britain, they are not much at ICC. That's why you see Israel succeeding at the war, on the war at Gaza. Because British, they are recognizing Palestinians now. That is how wicked and evil Britain is. They hate the Jews, they hate the white Jews, the red Jew and the black Jews. Look at how they are deceiving Canada into, unifying together with them to bring down Israel. They are recognizing state of Palestine. Who are the Palestinians? They are the ones that are inviting Hamas and Hezbollah to attack state of Israel. And they actually did that on 7th October 2023. And you see how the war raged. The British are among the Palestinians. I'm telling you, during the era of Yasser Arafat, Britain was with Yasser Arafat. Yes, who orchestrated most of the terrorist activities in the Middle East Europe. Yes, across Europe, across Asia, even Africa here. Yasser Arafat hijacked PLO, terrorist group, hijacked France jetliner, flew into Entebbe airport, Uganda. Yes, Britain was aware. And Israel fought hard. Most of the hostages in that plane, they were all Israeli. And do you know what happened? Israel fought hard and released their hostages under 90 minutes without British knowledge. It shocked Britain. British is a racist country and they hate Africa. All the policy and plans and ideology or agenda that Hitler had for Africa failed during the war of late 30s and the 40s. I don't know what to understand. To mid 40s, that's 1945. The agenda Hitler had for us, he has failed. Britain is trying to bring it up because Hitler could not succeed. They want to use this place for experiment. They know that the raw material is coming from Africa. British knows that the raw material for all that the Europeans are using to develop their places, the raw materials are coming from Africa. That's why they are bent on bringing back colonial era to the Africa continent. Britain has failed. They are a failure. And the Igbo man is the only person, the only tribe on the continent of Africa that will flop British plans. all British plans have failed. They must actually pay reparation to the Igbos. Britain contributed to the killings of 1967, 68, 69, and 70. The genocide of 1967, Britain sponsored it and paid Nigerian military cliques, supplied them with all arms and the warfares they use against the Igbo man. Britain must pay. It is the right time that the Igbos, the IPOB group, Nnamdi Kanu and his legal team must challenge Britain at the High Court level, at ICC level. They must go there. They must go there and challenge Britain. Britain must pay. They commit the acts of genocide against the Igbo man, 1967 to 1970. And here we are today. They are coming because they actually seen that Biafra as a spirit has resurrected. Biafra is expanding, increasing on daily basis. That's why the British is not happy. And we are marching forward. Victory is ours.
Okay. Thank you.
Want to make it.
The problem with Bola Tinubu is that he thinks I'm the one that offended him. I didn't offend him. He offended me.
What did you do to him?
No, it's not for television, that one. But he offended me. And he's full of himself. And he thinks that because he's now so-called president.
Is he so-called or is the president?
So-called.
That's the president of the Federal Republic.
I believe he didn't win the election.
What makes you think so? Because you supported Peter Obi?
Yes.
So that's why you think.
The results available to us at that time believe he didn't win the election.
But the court says otherwise.
The court, of course, you know who they are.
The court stands for justice.
Yeah, the court stands for justice in court.
So you don't believe in the courts?
I believe in the courts. What can you do? They are there. They are supposed to do their duties. They are doing their duties. It's not about believing.
So if you don't believe Bola Tinubu won the election, the court in the first, the result at the poll says he won. The court in the first instance says he won. Yes. The court in the second instance says he won.
Yes, but the facts on the ground said he didn't win.
Who now won? Atiku?
Peter Obi won that election.
That came third?
According to the result that was announced. Not according to the true results.
So how do you determine who won an election?
We have the data now. Look, we had monitors on the field. We had agents on the field. We collected our data. We know our results. We know the results that were coming in from the field. We can see clearly the point at which they were altered. We can see clearly, you know.
Was it altered in Anambra? Was it altered in Abia? Was it altered in Enugu? Peter Obi won landslide. He won over 90% of the votes in that region.
Yes.
He beat Bola Tinubu in Lagos.
Yes.
He had huge votes in the North Central.
It doesn't mean there are no states where election was conducted. There are. You know, when you do rigging, you rig only where you are strong. And because...
Is Peter Obi strong in Lagos? That is Bola Tinubu's state.
Yes.
As a politician, you know what it means when you lose your home top.
I know what it means. They didn't understand the demography of Lagos very well at that time.
So it was a shocker.
It was a shocker. They underplayed the demography of Lagos. And it shocked them. And the demography showed. Subsequent elections, they worked on that demographic issue. That's why there was voter suppression in the gubernatorial election. And in this last election, local government. The demography took them by surprise.
Would you see the supporting Peter Obi in 2027?
I think they say a day in politics is long. Things have changed. The parameters that we were used to evaluate our candidate in 2023 is going to be different from this one. Things have moved on, so we'll see when we get there, we'll see what...
We were not even supposed to be Nigerians in the first place. We were the Royal Niger Company. Do you understand? So we're basically a company for the British to take resources and blah, 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 and go for Britain.
Right.
Do you understand? And then somewhere along the line, the company decided to buy the whole place and amalgamate it.
Right.
Yeah. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the people that sell the place and the people that buy, to them are the winners. The rest of the people are what?
Right.
Collateral damage.
Why do you think it's important for you personally to deliver that message? Like, you feel like
it's not important for me personally. It's important for everybody that knows. Once you know, then it becomes important. If you know and you have the capability to say no.
Statement in English. And this statement is prompted by the social media appeal by the Northern Women Association of Nigeria. Northern Women Association of Nigeria. They made an appeal to the president. They made a passionate appeal to the president of Nigeria. And that appeal is that the president of Nigeria should reconsider his position, allowing people who do not want to stay as one Nigeria to go, simply because the Northern women claimed in that social media, in their parade yesterday, that they would always be the ones at the receiving end of every suffering in Nigeria. Their men will go into war and die and will never come back and abandon them with children. Exactly what we had today in the summer. Not only that their men who live in the East, should there be trouble, will be dispersed, and their economic sustenance of their families will cease to be. At the end of the day, the women and the children will be the ones to suffer again. I'm making an appeal today. This appeal comes from me as the venerable Reverend Dr. Amato Onwundu Christian Igbo, a British Igbo born. I'm making this appeal today to the Archbishop of Canterbury. I'm also making this appeal today to the General Synod of the Church of England. And this appeal comes as I'm a member of the General Synod of Church of England, to the Archbishop of Canterbury and Archbishop of York, and the General Synod as a whole, to intervene in the situation in Nigeria today. I do believe that the Archbishop of Canterbury and Archbishop of York, and entirely the General Synod of Church of England, we do have influence and relationship with Nigeria. Nigeria, as it stands today, is the largest Anglican communion in the whole wide world. We would not fold our hands to see Nigeria completely collapsed and souls and lives being destroyed, and nobody's talking about it or speaking about it today. I therefore appeal as the parish priest of this church, St. Stephen's and St. Mark's, holding your licenses today. And I'm appealing to you from the bottom of my heart that we as a church, the Church of England, should speak up and say something about Nigeria today before it is too late. Thank you.